There we go. That should be a lot better. Had to switch the Wi-Fi around. Okay, let's get set up here. Today we're going to be doing some cart cleaning. We have some Atari 2600 carts. And you know how we do. We're going to clean those suckers out. And eventually we're going to, we're going to put them in the Atari and play them. I want to make sure the lighting looks okay. I'm just screwing around tonight and trying some different lighting. I think it looks good enough. Okay, boom, we're live. Welcome to Nick White Classics. Today we're going to be doing some cart cleaning. I've got 2, 4, 6, a total of 8 carts here. I know that 7 of them, 2, 4, 6, 8, yeah. 7 need to be cleaned and 1 over here needs to be disassembled. So actually I'm going to grab a screwdriver so that I can do that real quick. Okay, there we have it. Okay, so here's our screwdriver. And let's try that again. Boom, we're live. Welcome to Nick White Classics. Today we're going to do some cart cleaning. First things first, let's take our isopropyl, 91%. We're just going to pour some in a shot glass so that we can dip our Q-tips in there and clean out our cartridges. Today we're cleaning about 8 Atari 2600 carts. Actually, so you can see we have 8 here. We're at 1 needs to be disassembled, so let's start there. So this is Venture for the Atari 2600. I've never actually played this cartridge, but I feel like it's going to be a sweet game. This is from 1982, produced by Coleco, and I actually have the ColecoVision version of Venture, but I do not have a ColecoVision. I do have an Atari 2600 though, so the only problem is there's something up with this cart, and I can't get it to, for whatever reason, whenever it sits inside of the console itself, it sits sideways. So there's something blocking it, and there's nothing that I can see. So I think we're gonna take this cartridge apart and see if there's anything inside that's screwing it. Screwing it up from locking in place properly. But otherwise, we have 7 other carts that we need to clean today. We have Sequest. I'm just going to burn through these quick. Let me know which one do you want to start with today. Star Master by Activision. We have Dark Cavern by Mattel. Mousetrap for the Atari 2600, and I feel like this is another Coleco game from 1982, and I feel like there's some story here. Bonus cartridge included with Gemini purchase, non-refundable. No idea what that means, but yeah, I want to clean it out and play it. I've never played Mousetrap, but it seems cool. Circus Atari. This is one of those classic games. I got a deal on this now that I see what it's marked. I definitely did not pay that, so that's sweet. We got Video Olympics, which if memory serves, this is multiple Olympic games that you're going to play with the paddle controller, so that's a sweet one. 1978, which is one of the first games. I think it might be one of the original 9 that came out for the Atari 2600. And then Math Grand Prix, which is 1982. This is like a math game for the Atari. So this is an educational game. And I think somebody mentioned this the last time we cleaned carts. So it's kind of cool to, when I saw it in the store, I had to pick it up. So boom, let's get started. Cheers. Okay. Yeah, hey, what's happening? Thanks for tuning in. We are cleaning some carts today. So we're just going to clean the inside chips. Where should we start? I want to start with an easy one. Here we go. Yeah, let's look inside Sequest. You can see there's a ton of junk in there. Am I playing with someone else? Like Atari games? Actually, yesterday I did a live stream with my buddy Louie. We played 4 two-player games for the Atari 2600. That live stream was just posted today. So if you want to check that out, go for it. So yeah, I just recently started collecting Atari 2600 games. I had an Atari at my grandma's house when I was a kid, and so it's super nostalgic for me to collect these old cartridges. And I'm also into visual effects and a little bit of programming and stuff, and so I just have a great appreciation for these games that still work like 45 plus years later. So I'm trying to get my hands on as many different game carts as I possibly can. And yeah, at the moment I'm just cleaning some carts here. And once we get these cleaned up, we're going to do some live streaming and we're going to check out the gameplay in these games. I went through and wiped these all down so the outsides are clean, but you can see the insides are not. So the first thing, oh, that seems like Scream, right? What's your favorite movie? Are you alone in the house? Yeah, man, I definitely do play things. I play the Atari 2600, I play the Nintendo GameCube, and I play the Sega Genesis on live feed right now at the moment. You can check that out if you subscribe to the channel. Check out the playlist, and you'll see what we got going. We're just getting started, man. I think we've done about 20 Atari game streams, live streams, and then yeah, for Nintendo GameCube, I know every Saturday morning I play Legends of Wrestling. Sequest is done. And I just want to point out the artwork on here. This is definitely clearly an Activision game. The logo's right there, but Activision always just put a screenshot. Some of the other carts, like Math Grand Prix, for example, they have this artwork to make it look like some intense Atari game when really it's like, it's 8-bit math equations. So it's pretty awesome, but I always love the artwork, and it looks like this is some submarines, some sharks. Looks like a sweet game. It looks like they got 2 modes, 1 player, 2 player, using the joystick controllers. So this one's clean, and we should be able to test that out soon. Which one should we do next? Any preferences out there? If I don't hear anything, I'm just going to pick one. Okay, let's go in order here. Let's go with Star Master. Looks like it's another Activision title. Looks like another screenshot from the actual gameplay. Here's the spine, Star Master. It's obviously a Star Wars ripoff. It looks like, they had a lot of space shooters back in the day. And it looks like this is published in 1982 by Activision. So the important thing, wow, I don't know if you can see that. There's a lot of dust inside of this thing. So we're getting not only just the clumps of dust and dirt and debris, which is important to get all that junk out of there too, so that you don't accidentally, get it jammed inside of your console. Once that's done, we're going to need to clean off the contacts on this chip that's poking out there. So if you have any old Atari carts at home, what's up, Brett? I was just saying, if you want to clean these out, and I think you probably know the drill, man. But you just go in there with some isopropyl and a Q-tip, and look at all that crud we wiped off there. And then I like to always wipe it dry with a dry Q-tip as well, just to make sure no residue builds up on those chips there. Okay, so that's Star Master. 2 down, 6 to go, and then we're gonna rip open Venture, and I promise you that's gonna be more interesting than cleaning the carts. But it's okay. Great question. Were Atari games shorter than SNES games? Absolutely, man. We played last night. We played a handful of 2-player games. My buddy Louie came over, and one of the games that we played was MASH. Came out in the game I think was published in 1983, and it's based on the television series by 20th Century Fox, you know, the old school MASH series. But the game itself was just 2 screens. So one screen where you... See you tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, Louis fun, man. But yeah, it was 2 screens for MASH, the game. One screen is you're flying a helicopter and you're saving people from the field, trying to avoid the tanks fire. And then the next screen is you're inside of the medical tent and you're removing shrapnel from people. So it's kind of like the game of Operation, but 8-bit. Yeah, that's it. That's the entire game. It's just that again and again and again. And you just try to rack up as many points as you possibly can. So there you have it. This is Dark Cavern, 1982. I've never played this game. I've always wanted to. You could tell by the shape of the cartridge here. This is a Mattel game. Produced by Mattel. Boom, Dark Cavern. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, you did catch that part, man. I wasn't sure if you were on the stream yesterday for the whole stream or not. But yeah, yesterday when we played MASH, we found that when you die, they call you Ferret Face. Which I thought was great because, especially because I'm not familiar with that term, Ferret Face. What an insult. It's like if you die, you get insulted by the game. I imagine it's from this show. But I've never actually watched an episode of MASH. Okay, so next we have Mousetrap for the Atari 2600 VCS video computer system from 1981. I'm trying to think. Exidy. Okay, Exidy's Mousetrap. Okay, they've produced some cool games. I think they did Kool-Aid Man, right? Or I'm not sure. What's happening, Ray? I just want to point this out. It's by Coleco, right? But a bonus cartridge included with Gemini purchase, non-refundable. So it seems like this may be a game that was provided like for free along with a Gemini purchase, which I have no idea what that means. I will have to look that up. But okay, you can see this is clean as far as there's no dust on the inside, but as far as on the edges, but on the chip itself, it doesn't look like it's the cleanest. So we're gonna wipe it down really good and see what we can do. So the reason that I went off on that tangent about the game MASH only being 2 screens, like, man, Super Nintendo games, some of those get pretty complex, right? Dozens of different levels and different ways to go. And Atari, you cannot even save your game. And it's literally just 2 screens that repeat indefinitely. So much shorter. Nintendo NES actually was way larger as well. I want to say the RAM for these carts was something crazy small, like 128 bytes of RAM. Okay, so next we're going to hop into Circus Atari for use with standard paddle controllers. So I haven't busted out the paddles yet for the Atari, but those are the cool ones that sort of twist side to side. So this is one of the carts that has the dust cover on there, which in theory is a great idea. But it just takes an extra step to get in there. There's a price tag on here, and there's some residue I want to first wipe off with the isopropyl. Yeah, man, I agree. I think like all modern games were came from somewhere, right? The origins, the history of gaming is, in large part, has a lot to do with the Atari 2600. Like, yeah, those games were simple and basic and lived within the restrictions that existed of like the limited graphics, the limited RAM, processing power, pixel dimensions, etc. But it's all about like getting creative and creating gameplay like out of just like some super rudimentary characters or graphics. How do you create a story out of these terrible graphics, right? How do you create some compelling gameplay? And there's just a ton of innovation happening during that period. So I'm a huge fan. I'm glad that you're able to connect with retro gaming in the same way I am, man. Or in a similar way, I should say. So yeah, if you're just tuning in, welcome to Nick White Classics. Every once in a while, I like to go live and clean my game cartridges, especially like whenever I buy a new game, I like to clean them. Even if I buy it from the game store or whatever, I like to still clean them off because a lot of times there's still a lot of gunk. You can see there's some dark black, like 40 years worth of dust on there. Especially if I pick up some carts at an estate sale or at a garage sale or antique mall. A lot of times those are the worst. They're usually just stuffed with dust. Yes, it's so well put, man. That is exactly how I feel when I play Atari 2600, Brett. Well put, my friend. Okay, next we have Math Grand Prix, which is like totally ridiculous, right? They have this artwork on there making it look like super intense, but pretty sure it's just simple math problems. Which, if you remember, if you've ever played the game Hangman for the Atari 2600, and we did that one couple weeks back. We played Hangman for the Atari 2600 on one of the live feeds, and you sort of cycle through the letters and then select a letter. Just play a standard game at Hangman, but I imagine when you solve these math equations, you have to do the same thing and cycle through digits. And how else would you do it, right? There's no keyboard. There's only one button, one joystick. It's the only way you can solve the problems. Boom. Okay, that's Math Grand Prix. By the way, this was published in 1982 by Atari. I always love to see the original published games with the cool artwork. You can see that some of the glue maybe seeped through and plaque, caused some plaque on the cartridge there, but it's not bad. Plus, for 1978, this is quite a while ago. It was at 45 years old, so... next we have Video Olympics. 1978. Again, this is a super old game. And I don't know much about this. I see that it's played with the paddle controller. So another paddle game, which is fun. I can't wait to bust out the paddles. It's nice to mix it up, right? The joysticks are fun, but the paddles are, I don't know, it's a totally different experience. It's like when you go to an old arcade. Like here in Columbus, there's a couple arcades downtown that have a ton of old games. And it's like most of the games are just like a joystick and a couple buttons, right? But occasionally you'll get a game where you control like a sphere, a ball that you spin. Or, you might get like a wheel that you rotate or whatever. It's cool. Like, it's cool to sort of recreate that sort of vibe on your home console with the Atari 2600. So just imagine in 1978 on your home video computer system playing some Video Olympics. 8-bit awesomeness. It's probably Probably some incredible stuff. We have played some sports games, including baseball. Played Home Run and Atari Baseball on our live stream. So go ahead and look back at that if you're interested in seeing the gameplay there. Okay, so that's it. That's Video Olympic. We just really have one more. Let's see. Let's see if I can get this to work. There we go. Boom. I'm kicking off this Q&A just because it being YouTube proposed this Q&A, right? So I just threw it up there. A modernized version of MASH. That's sweet. That'd be interesting. Yeah, definitely. I'd have to look that up and see if they have a newer version, but I don't think there was much demand, you know, for a new version. I'm just going to move these down here for a quick second, and we're going to look at Venture. This is a game by Coleco, produced in 1982, and it looks like a super sweet game. So I really want to make it work. But again, I was saying earlier, it won't fit, it won't seat properly inside the Atari system. Like rather than sitting flat on there, it sort of sits crooked, and it won't load. So yeah, that's a good point. We might have to, let's see, my thought in order to get this to work is to take apart the cartridge, look at the insides, see what's blocking it from working, and perhaps just take the chip out, slide the chip in raw without a cart, and see if that works. So to start, and I hate to do this, but I really want to play this game. And I can't get it to play because it won't seat properly. So the first thing I'm going to do is just cut a little hole here. You can see these indents there. There's two little screws. So I'm just going to try to carefully remove the sticker so that I can get to those screws. Again, it sucks to damage the cart label, but I am dying to play this game, so I'm gonna do it. So yeah, so Venture and a lot of the Coleco games are put together with just two screws. So just pop those out and we should be able to open the cartridge up. Yeah, that's my butterfly knife. It comes in handy when working on these carts. Like, doesn't matter. Like anything that needs to get cut, it'll do the job. It's old, man. I've had it since I was a kid. I don't know if you saw, but we also played Title Match Pro Wrestling for the Atari 2600 yesterday. We did a tag team match, Louie and I, on the live stream, and it's published now under the playlists on the channel. So if you want to check that out, I think that's the very first wrestling game on a home video game console, and produced in the early 80s. I think it was, well, it might have been 86, 87. So, okay, so there's one screw out, and I'm just going to put it here on my Mario Star. Second and final screw coming out now. Boom. Okay, let's pop this baby open. All right, there we go. That's cool. So it's just one piece, and there's no dust in there at all. Here's our chip. Let's take a closer look. Okay, so this is our spring-loaded. Yay. Okay, set that carefully there. I'm just gonna put that back together quick because just looking at it, it's clean. There's no dust on it. There's no need to really take that apart at all. So set that back in place. Let's see. The WCW SNES game sucks. Oh, yeah. The wrestling game, yeah. That was awesome, man. The controls were tough. Like, and very limited, but, you know, for the time, yeah, groundbreaking. Okay, that's going to be tough, but I'm not worried about it right now. Let's take a look at this chip, shall we? So this is it, man. This is Venture. We have, yeah, dude, all it is a small board with one chip and one little capacitor over here. And it looks like the board might be snapped there. I don't know a lot about this stuff, but it looks like this might be snapped. The board might be snapped or broken there. That shouldn't matter, though. This is looking clean right here. If anything, I guess I can... Let's look closely at the teeth. You can see it's sort of worn down. And this is really the important part, right? These need to connect into your system. Need to have full contact without any build up there. And this side is kind of nasty, so I think since it's apart, I'll take a second and clean it off. Yeah, the match exceeded my expectations. Yeah, man. Mine too, honestly. We played 4 games yesterday on the live feed, and that was definitely the best, I think, of the 4. Or my favorite, at least. Yeah, man. There's a lot of junk on there. Okay, so I think that's clean enough. I'm going to try this once it dries. I'm going to let it dry overnight, and then I'm going to try to put this in the Atari, like, just as is, without the case on it, and see if the game plays. Oh, that was sweet when I threw him out of the ring. Yeah, I was shocked that you could even do that. I'd like to play it again and see what else, discover what other moves we can do. I did a top rope or a middle rope elbow. That was kind of sweet. But, okay, so this chip, we're going to try that without the case. And the case itself, I just want to look at closer because for whatever reason, I wasn't able to seat this game like straight on inside the cartridge. So I wonder if maybe it was disassembled at one time and then reassembled incorrectly, and maybe that's why it won't seat properly. I don't know. Before I reassemble, I mean, there we go. All I did was flip this one spring-loaded piece. I flipped it over 180, and so that might be all that it takes. But before I close it back up, I think I'm going to go test this on my Atari real quick, see if it plays. But if it does play, tomorrow is Thursday, which is a retro replay live stream day. If this works, we're definitely going to be live streaming this tomorrow. We're going to play 2 games tomorrow on the stream. Of course, every Tuesday, every Thursday, we live stream Atari 2600 games. Every Saturday morning, we live stream Legends of Wrestling for the Nintendo GameCube. And every Sunday, we're trying to do Sonic games for the Sega Genesis. So we got Sonic 3 going right now, and I hope to get back to that this Sunday. But yeah, there you have it. We cleaned 7 games. We disassembled Venture, and we cleaned some carts. So if you tuned in, if you're still around, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you check back often, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. See you Saturday, Brett. Take care, guys. Have a good night.